Into the shadows we go, where the truth walks soft and slow. Names in stone and blood in code. Trust no light, just bear your load.
Once, I watched a man crawl back from the grave. Not in glory, not in triumph. He came back gasping, choking on the air, like it didn't belong to him anymore. Eyes cloudy, skin cold, voice quiet. The first words out of his mouth weren't "thank you." They were, "What did you do to me?" Welcome, Shadowborn. You've stepped back into the dark, and this time, the darkness remembers. Today we speak not of life or death, but the space between, and what happens when you trespass into it. Let me ask you something. When your cleric casts Raise Dead, what are you actually bringing back? The body? Sure. The bones are there. The blood, the voice, the hands. But what about the burden? What about the soul? That didn't want to come back. Too often, resurrection is treated like a reset button, a healing potion with more paperwork. But in a story that takes itself seriously, in a world with rules, death must mean something. Otherwise, life means nothing. So what are we really doing when we bring someone back? What price is paid? What scars remain unseen? I've died before. It was cold, but not empty. There was weight there, a sense of being unmade in the presence of something older, something vast and final. When I was pulled back, I didn't rejoice, I didn't weep, I just felt disoriented. Like a book that had already been shelved, being cracked open one more time, even though the story was finished. In your campaigns, resurrection isn't just a spell, it's a disruption. The gods might permit it, sure, but the world doesn't forget. The threads of fate fray, spirits whisper, time bends. Maybe the resurrected sees things, glimpses of truths they shouldn't know. Or maybe, just maybe, they didn't come back alone. The world doesn't like imbalance, and every soul brought back is an echo that shouldn't be. In my world, resurrection comes with side effects. A lingering touch from the other side, a scar that bleeds under the moon, a name forgotten even by those who loved you. Not curses, not punishment, just cost. So when your players beg for that last-minute revival, or a cleric lifts their hands to undo death, ask this. What if they're bringing back someone different? What if the soul changed on the journey? What if the person they loved isn't who came back? You don't have to ban resurrection mechanics. Just make them narrative. Make the players hesitate. Will they risk the resurrection knowing the revived might hear voices now? Might forget them? Might wake up weeping and not know why? In this hour, we'll walk the veil. From the nature of the soul, to the gods who meddle with memory, to the dangers of resurrection gone wrong. Because in this world, death isn't the end, it's a threshold. And some doors shouldn't be opened twice. Before we talk about resurrection, we have to talk about what's actually being resurrected. Not the body, not the memory, not the stats on the sheet. I mean the soul. What is a soul? In a world like mine, bound to tablets, gods, magic, and memory, what does it mean to have one? This is a world-building cornerstone. The soul should matter. In Pathfinder, the soul is what anchors a creature to its identity, what fuels magic, and what the gods claim at death. But don't just stop there. In Köykkä's world, the soul is a fragment of celestial memory. It's not just energy, it's a sliver of the divine dream. That makes resurrection more than a reversal. It's a celestial recall, a forced rethreading of something that wasn't supposed to return. Some believe the soul has weight. I don't mean metaphorical, literal. When someone dies, the body gets lighter, just a whisper, a breath, like something left. I've seen druids bottle that breath. I've watched necromancers fail to trap it. The soul, it flees, unless you drag it back. But here's the terrifying part. The soul changes in death. Imagine a mirror submerged in dark water, pulled out and dried. Sure, but does it ever reflect the same again? Some come back wrong. Not because they're evil, but because part of them stayed behind. Here are a few flavorful in-world mechanics you can apply after resurrection. Soul fracture. The character forgets a loved one's name permanently. No spell can restore it. Lunar burn. The moonlight physically burns the resurrected, kind of like a sunburn, due to the soul being marked while crossing back. Echo memory. The resurrected now has dreams of someone else's life, a soul that brushed theirs on the return trip. Celestial weight. Resurrection leaves behind a ghost-like afterimage of the soul that still haunts the world or the caster. These are just ideas, but what matters is that you never let resurrection feel clean. It should be true magic, raw, costly, unnatural. When Mishika died, we had the power to bring her back. But we waited. We argued. Some said it wasn't our place, that we didn't understand what she might bring with her. We performed the rite anyway. We called her. And something answered. It was her voice, her eyes, her dark demeanor. But sometimes, when she stares too long at the stars, I swear I see something else looking back through her. Don't forget, resurrection doesn't just affect the resurrected. It affects the world around them. Maybe the land rejects them. Crops rot where they step. Maybe spirits whisper warnings when they pass. Maybe divine casters feel something missing when they channel energy. Use your NPCs to show this. Let the players sense that the soul has changed, even if the stats say they're fine. A soul isn't just what you are, it's what you were, and what you were meant to become. Bringing it back, it's not a gift. It's a theft, and the gods don't always forgive thieves. In stories, we pretend the gods are patient, but they aren't. They're ancient, they're powerful, but they are not patient. Because patience is born from time, and the gods live outside it. So when you tamper with death, when you pull a soul back across the veil, you don't just bend reality, you send a ripple across the divine. And the gods feel it. Every resurrection should echo through the divine realms. Your gods don't have to smite the players, but they should respond. Maybe they withdraw divine power for a time. Maybe they send omens or cryptic dreams. Maybe they mark the resurrected as watched. Especially in a world like Köykkä's, where divine memory and celestial balance matter, resurrection is sacrilege. In the temples of Urian, the god of light, resurrection is permitted, but it comes at a price. The soul must be weighed against its original purpose. Is it found lacking? The body lives, but the soul never fully returns. They call them hollow woken, alive but not whole. They speak in monotone, forget the taste of wine. They stop dreaming. And what of darker gods? The goddess of endings, the maiden of death. Her priests of old said resurrection is an invasion. A soul that leaves should stay left. They hunt those who return. They call them echoes. And to them, every echo is a hole in the world. Here are ways to let the resurrection alter divine relationships. Oathbreak effect. A cleric who raises the dead without sanction loses their deity's favor temporarily. Prophetic backlash. A soul returned without divine approval triggers apocalyptic visions in oracles nearby. Celestial debt. The player owes a god a favor. They don't know when or what, but it will be called in. Marked for death. Undead sense the resurrected and are drawn to them like moths to flame. There was a time, long ago, when resurrection was common. During the Gods' War, they say entire battalions were brought back mid-battle by divine flame. But something changed. The gods stopped answering. Priests burned. Angels wept blood. The sky cracked with silence. And the world understood. You can only defy death so many times before it notices. Use resurrection as a wedge between factions. The Church of the Burning Prophet bans resurrection. The Cult of Returning celebrates it, believing death is merely a step. The Arcanist Guild taxes it, treating it like a magical resource. Let this topic divide kingdoms, temples, even parties. Make your players ask, is this divine intervention or divine warning? So, next time your cleric lifts a diamond and chants over a still chest, remember this: someone is listening, and gods do not forget. They came back, but something came with them. Or something stayed behind. Either way, they are not the same. This is where resurrection gets real. If there's no narrative cost, resurrection becomes cheap. But if it changes the person, if they lose something, gain something, come back just a little off, then you've got real tension, real stakes, real role play. I once knew a man named Karen, spear captain in the 6th Banner. Took a death curse to the heart. We brought him back. The ritual was clean. The cleric swore it was whole. But Karen, he stopped speaking. And in his sleep, he started carving strange symbols into his camp gear. He wouldn't eat food if it cast a shadow. And then one night, he walked into the sea. Never came back. Here are some subtle, roleplay friendly effects to apply. Emotion drift. Emotions don't feel as intense. Joy, grief, love, it all feels distant. Memory leak. Small but personal details go missing. Favorite food, the shape of a sibling's laugh. The name of a childhood home. Dream infestation. They dream in a different voice, a foreign perspective, and sometimes the dreams show them things yet to happen. Alien sensations. The sun's too bright, wind feels wrong, crowds cause nausea. The senses betray them. These aren't punishments, they're prompts. Use them to deepen the world and make your players wrestle with who they are. I knew a resurrection that pulled back more than just the person. A woman named Veska was raised after failing in the Unification War. When she came back, her eyes were darker. Her voice trembled, like it echoed. We later learned she'd touched something in the void, something hungry, and now it whispers through her in broken lullabies and dead languages. When I came back from the capital, after a current necromancer left me broken, dead, I didn't come back with scars. I came back with secrets. I saw something buried under the palace, something old. I still don't know if I was meant to see it, or if it meant for me to carry it. Here's some narrative mechanics. Soul rebinding ritual. The cleric must perform a follow-up rite within 3 days, or the soul begins to slip. Astral lure. A creature from beyond has attached itself to the soul. It may manifest slowly like a disease, or speak through them. Heaven is closed. The resurrected has memories of being rejected by their God. They return with a holy symbol that now burns in their hand. So when your player says, "I cast Raise Dead," ask them this. What are you expecting to come back? A friend? A hero? A lover? Or a stranger who looks like someone you once loved, but whose soul is no longer entirely their own? Some of the most powerful moments in a campaign come from loss. Not a boss kill, not a critical success, but silence. A still battlefield, a name carved in stone, a chair left empty at the fire. Think of the fear of finality. Death matters. That's why resurrection shouldn't be easy. But let's be honest, we don't want to punish our players. We don't want to derail campaigns with a single unlucky roll. So here's the question. How do we keep death meaningful without making it a game ender? Let them stay dead. Not always, not without thought. But when it matters, when the story calls for it, don't cheapen their sacrifice. Turn their death into something sacred, something that shapes the world after them. So here's some GM tools for you. Some story-driven death alternatives. Number 1, the legacy effect. The fallen character leaves behind something potent. A secret, a prophecy, a relic attuned only to their blood. Let them die, but let them echo. Number 2, the torchbearer. Another player character, or a non-player character, takes on their mission, literally or thematically. A new character who inherits their debt, or curse, or unfinished business. Number 3, the hollow spot. Don't fill the gap right away. Let the party feel the loss. Let silence sit at the table. Let the players grieve. Then, when the moment is right, introduce someone new with respect. In the Hall of Heroes, we don't forget our dead. We carve their names into obsidian. We leave their gear untouched for one season. And when we raise a toast in their name, we don't ask if they could have come back. We honor that they chose not to. So player buy-in matters. Talk to your players. Let them know before the campaign begins, death can happen. Resurrection isn't guaranteed. And if they die, they'll still be part of the story. That promise makes it easier for them to let go. And when death does happen, you'll both know how to honor it. Death isn't the end of the story. It's just the end of a chapter. And if you write it right, the chapter after their death will be the most powerful one told. So here's a final tip. Let death breathe. Don't rush new character creation. Don't hand-wave resurrection mechanics. Let mourning exist in the world. Let NPCs react. Let villains twist it. Let allies be shaken. Make it matter. A good death changes the campaign. A great one defines it. In the end, resurrection is a curse, because it tempts us to believe that loss isn't real, that we can undo pain, rewrite fate, cheat the gods. But death is not a glitch in the story. It is the story. And sometimes the most heroic thing a character can do is leave something behind. To the fallen, may their shadows walk with us forever. One, two, three. For the hall. Hello, words. I am Ramsey. Why does it have fake eyeballs?
Dramatic and brooding.
Nope, delete that shit.
Oh, boopity boopity boop. Oh no.
Nope, we already recorded that. Stop.
What?
You are way behind. Blah, 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 blah. Nope, we already read that.
Why do you keep saying that?
When I came back from the Capitol, I just did that. Cut. Hey, blah, 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 blah. I'm not doing a repeat. That's for the live audience only.
In a city where steel keeps secrets cold, and shadows wear the face you sold. No mercy waits, no hand to hold. Just the blade and the choice you mold. Traitor whispers, warden cries. Kirdana bleeds beneath the skies. He's still alive, the clock defies the truth that hides behind the lies. Into the shadows we go, where the truth walks soft and slow. Names in stone and blood in code. Trust no light, just bear your load. The storm rolls in the strings they rise. Shines like wind through rusted ties. A breath before the kill implies. This is the end where silence lies. Traitor whispers, warden cries. Kirdana bleeds complete beneath the skies. He's still alive, the clock defies the truth that hides behind the lies. Into the shadows we go, where the truth walks soft and slow. Names in stone and blood and code. Trust no light, just bear your load. Into the shadows we go, where the truth walks soft and slow. Names in stone and blood and code. Trust no light, just bear your load. Into shadows we go, where the truth walks soft and